Hi, welcome to this video. In this video, we will learn how Administrator Plus, or in short AP, picks up the rate of a particular service as per the type of patient. The rate of service depend on the following factors. The first is the general rate list, where all the general patient will be applied the same rates. Then second factor is the panel of the patient. Panel is basically a group of patient, for example, corporate or third party insurance, or maybe a particular membership card. Then those patient will be in a particular panel, or maybe a senior citizen panel, or maybe the hospital staff panel. So you can define as many panels as you want, and the rate of the panel department wise can be different in different scenarios. Another factor is the class of the patient or the room type of the patient. For example, general ward patient will be charged with different rates, private will charge with different rate, semi deluxe, super deluxe. All the rates can be different department wise. Another factor can be the unit wise rate where the patient is billed. Then for the consultant charges, you can define the rate visit type wise. For example, it's a normal visit or emergency visit for the consultant, or for revisit or for night visit. You can define different rate for the consultant visits. You can also define the discount for particular panel. Instead of setting their rate, you want to set that, okay, give them the 10% discount on the general rate list. For example, give the 10% discount on the particular panel, for example, BSNL rates. You can define the discount also. These are the various factors according to which AP picks up the rate. So let us see how we can configure our system to implement our rate policy. To set up the rates, click on the masters. So you can see on the right side, there is one subsection for rate calculation. So we will cover this in this video. So first, let us start with general rate without panel. A simple general rate list for the patient who does not belong to any panel. Just click here. Now we can see the department. Just click here. We can see all the departments. Let me make you clear that department here means the service group, or in other words, you can say the billing heads under which the services falls. So these are the departments. So let us choose one department, CT scan. Just click on CT scan, click on show. So all the services of this CT scan is displayed here, and now you can see the screen format. This is the default OPD rate, this is the default IPD rate, and here you can see the class. It looks like room type, but basically it's class, and class is attached with the room type. General ward AC, general ward non-AC, gynae, HDU. So these are the different classes. So for this service, you can see that default OPD rate is 2600, default IPD rate is 2600. That means for OPD, if we bill this service, it will charge 2600. For IPD also, it will charge 2600 for general ward. But in case of IPD, if patient is in general ward, it will charge 1288. And for IPD patient who is in general ward non-AC, it will charge 1450. This gynae rates are not defined. So let me make you clear that if rates are not defined here, it will take the IPD rate in case of IPD patient. You don't have to mandatorily define the rates for all the classes. Only if rates are different for particular class, you need to define. For example, like CT chest without contrast for lungs, OPD default rate is 2500, IPD default rate is also 2500, and no other rates are defined. So in case of IPD, it will charge 2500. Now let me change this. Just click here for changing. Let me make it 3000. So now for the IPD patient, it will charge 3000, and for OPD, it will charge 2500, and it will not depend on the room. Suppose let me put ICU as 4000. So if this CT chest is done in ICU ward, it will be charged at 4000. In any other ward, it will charge at 3000. let me save this. I will show you by making one bill. So this is OPD bill. Let me type the service here. C dot. This is the service without contrast. You can see the rate is 2500 in case of OPD. So let me show you IPD also. In case of IPD, where patient is in general deluxe room, if I add this service, let's see what rate it CT chest without contrast tab. So it's picking 3000 here as per the policy. So let me take one case where patient is in ICU ward. So this is one patient with the name of Manish. We can see the patient is admitted in ICU ward. Now let me choose service here, CT chest. Now let's see what rate it picks. It's taking 4000. So now we can see that as per our rate policy, it is picking the same rate. One more thing I want to tell you, that if you want a one rate only, for example, CT scan neck, you can remove from here from IPD also. If IPD rate is not defined, then it takes the OPD rate in IPD also. It will give the priority. First it will check the class wise rate, then it will check the IPD default rate, then it will check the OPD default rate. So next we will see how we can define the rates of particular panel. We have to click on panel rate list. Under this rate calculation, just click here. We can see the similar interface, only a new this panel boxes appear. It's almost like the general rate list. So this is also the department wise. I am taking the same department, CT scan. I have to choose the panel also along with this, for which we have to define the CT scan rates. Let me choose ECHS. Click on show. So we can see the similar interface here, and few columns are extra. Panel OPD service code, panel IPD service code, panel description. Then these are the original OPD IPD rates. For the CT scan, these are the rates from general rate list, and it's not editable. We have defined this in the previous example. Now this is appearing here as a reference rate, and these are the room wise rate. So for CT scan and ECHS patient, these rates will be applied. CT chest without contrast for lungs. Normal rate for OPD is 2500. Normal IPD rate is 3000. We have just done. For this particular panel, for ECHS panel, the rate will be 1700 instead of 2500. And for IPD also, it's 1700. And for any other class, room class, it will take 1700. Suppose we want to change for this HDU, we can type here, let's say 2200. So that means that if patient is admitted in HDU and patient is from ECHS panel, the rate will be 2200. And if patient is admitted in ICU for ECHS panel, the rate will be 1700. Because if rates are not defined, it takes the panel IPD rate and panel OPD rate. One thing more I want to clear. Suppose the service is angio abdominal. Here no panel wise rate are defined, not in OPD, not in IPD, not in any room. It will take a general OPD rates and general IPD rates. Let me show you an example. Our service code for CT chest without lungs, the panel OPD rate is 1700. So I have choose a ECHS panel, ABC patient, CT chest without contrast for lungs. We can see the rate is 1700, which is defined here. Let me choose angio abdominal, and since no rate is defined, it should show the rate of normal OPD. Angio abdominal, we can see rate is 6500 because it's not defined in general rate list. Next we will see what is this panel OPD service code. For example, any service CT chest without contrast, our hospital code is CT CH1639, and this is the common name, but ECHS call it by this name 1639. So for the reference of ECHS, we can put this service code here, and this can be again OPD and IPD separate. But if IPD is not defined, it will print this OPD only 1639. And next is panel description. So suppose we call this service something different, just in a common name, and for this panel the service name is, let's say, something similar but in different words. So we can define this panel description. So this means that for hospital the service is same, but for the convenience of panel this will be printed. and panel OPD service code will be printed. So now we can see from here how it looks in print, and we can see this code 1639, the ECHS code is printed here, and its description will be printed here. Next, I want to discuss about few more options, that is formula. Suppose you want general ward AC rates 10% hike of the OPD rates. So you can use a formula for these things. Apply percentage on. You can choose general ward AC. How much? You can choose 10%, 10% of OPD original or panel wise OPD rate. Just a correction, 110%. If we want to make it 10% more, we have to put 110 and apply. Now we can see general ward AC is 16129. So similarly, by applying formula, we can do the bulk processing. We can apply the formula on any column. Next is export to the Excel. So if you want to export this particular rate list of ECHS in Excel, you can click here. You can see open Excel file. This is also important that suppose you want your department user, CT scan user to update the rate for you, you can give them the Excel file instead of directly applying in the software. They can modify the rates here. This rate is 2900 and they can save this file and import from this option, import panel rate list from Excel. So this option will be open and you can import it from here. You can type the ECHS and you can import it from here. So this is done for ease. Suppose you want to give it to your administrator, they can check their rate in free time and it's easy to edit in Excel. Then it can be imported. For import, we will make a separate video because permission is required, because few things has to be taken care while import. We'll make that in separate video. So this is all about panel rate list. So next we will take up panel department wise discount. Up till now we have seen how we can define the rates for different panels or the general rates for hospitals department wise. But suppose there is case when some corporate, in our words some panel, wants to give discount. They don't have their separate rate list. They just want to give the 20% discount on hospital services. Then we can configure that also. Just click on panel department wise discount. Now let us choose panel, let's say BSNL. Now BSNL will want to give the 20% discount on selected departments, or you can put on all departments. This department 20%, ambulance charges also 20%, CT scan 20%, consultancy 20%, cardiology 20%. So we can define, we can put the percentage in all the departments or on the selected departments as per the MOU signed by the hospital and BSNL. Again, the same concept is there that you can put the department cut. It will apply for all the classes and OPD, IPD everywhere. But let's say, suppose CT scan, you want to give 20% on OPD and 25% on IPD, then it will take 25% on IPD. Otherwise, it will take 20%. Similarly, class wise also, if you want to mention some special discount on any special class, you can put there, suppose ICU 25, so you can put 25 and all other classes will take the discount of 20%. This we have defined at the department level. All the services of CT scan or cardiology will get 20% discount. Suppose there is some agreement that we want discount on any particular service, then you can define panel service wise discount also. Here you can choose a department. Let me choose dental procedures and panel is BSNL only. Show all the services appear here and I just want to put the discount on this service, CD min, discount of let's say 50%. Only this service, all the dental department will be applied with the same rate. Only this particular service will get the discount of 50%. And let me save, I'm coming to this also where we have defined this. Let me save this. Now I will take example. Just let me put the panel here, BSNL, and choose any service from CT scan, department CT scan, let's say CT chest without contrast. We can see here rate is coming from the general rate list, but here we can see 20% discount appears. So net amount payable is 2000. Let me choose that service from dental also. From dental, I have put discount on this service. Just let me choose one service more so I can show the difference. Now you can see this CD mean discount is 50%, 4000, and on this ceramic there is no discount. The rates are from the general rate list. So like this we can manage the discount. One more important thing I like to tell, that suppose some panel don't have their own rate list or own policy, but they want the rate as per another panel policy. For example, CGHS. Any panel like ECHS or any panel want to follow the policy of CGHS. So they can just define that follow this policy. I will show you how. Just come to master, panel master, where panel is defined. Let me choose the panel CIL. Just click here. Now under the panel rates, now you can see applied rate list for panel. Now this CIL will be applied. For example, let me choose the general rate list of ECHS. So CIL panel now will have all the rates and discount defined in ECHS. But suppose they want that for OPD keep it ECHS, and for IPD let's say keep it for BSN. So this is also possible. If you omit this IPD, it will take all the rates of OPD, IPD for ECHS only. Now further we have more options. Suppose some service rates are not defined in ECHS, then you can choose alternate rate list, that if the rate is not in ECHS, then which rate list to follow. Let's say we follow the rate list of Delhi Police, and even if Delhi Police that service rate is not there, alternate rate list 2 we can choose ICIC Lombard, then similarly alternate rate list 3 NTPC Lucknow. So in this case CIL will be applied with the rate of ECHS, and if rates of any particular service is not in ECHS, then it will check for Delhi Police, then it will check to ICI Lombard, then at NTPC Lucknow. So like this, we have given a lot of flexibility to create the rate list for panel. Next, I like to discuss about emergency rate list. Emergency rate list is applied when the patient is admitted in emergency or casualty department. If this rate list is not defined, then the rates of OPD and IPD will be charged in emergency department. But if hospital has a separate emergency rate list, they can define it from here. Clicking here, now you can see the similar interface. We can choose the department. Let me choose pathology. Panel I can keep blank. Blank means default rate, or in other words you can say the cash patient. So you can either keep blank or you can choose the panel. Let me choose Bhel. Click show. It will load all the pathology services. You can define the rates here ward wise also, or by default you can type in OPD rates. The name is OPD, but if you type here, it will be applied in emergency only. And in emergency, we have a different rooms. We can also define a room type as rate. Since this interface is similar, we have already discussed in the previous part, so I'm not elaborating now. Similarly, like the panel rate list and general rate list, the same interface and same system of defining the rate will be applicable. And after defining the rate, let's say I put here, just click save, and you can see it is saved now. Click OK. If you go in this emergency option, these rate will be applied. Next, I like to cover class wise visit rate, non-panel, or you can click here also class wise visit rate for panel. Internally, both are the same. You can switch panel and non-panel. So what does this means? Let me choose this. So this option is only used for the consultant charges. The visit type of consultant. Let me choose. You can keep the class blank and click show. So it can be applicable on all the classes. Now these are the consultant names and these are the type of visit. A revisit is for OPD purpose. When a patient revisit the consultant within a few days as per the policy of hospital, card is valid for 7 days. So if patient revisit within 7 days, these rate will be applied. And these three are for IPD. Consultant is called in emergency, then this rate will be applied instead of the normal IPD rate. In case consultant visit at night, this rate will be applied, and some hospital have provision of half visit. If the visit of consultant is marked as half visit, then this rate will be applied. For example, AK Dikshit, we can write emergency rate 2000, night charges at 700, half visit maybe 150. So depending on the visit type, we can define the rate. You can save it. This is for the all the classes. You can also define class wise, that let's say HDU ward. Show is to load the rates, and then you can edit. So whenever you change this, just click show. For HDU ward, suppose emergency charges are 3000, night charges is 1500, and half visit is 500. These rates will be applicable only for the HDU ward. You can save it. You can also define this rate panel wise. From the main menu also, you can directly go to panel. Now if you click here, it will show the panel box also. So you can define general ward for BSNL. Show. Now this visit type will be applied whenever the class of patient is general ward and panel is BSNL. If this panel rate is not defined, it will choose the general ward rate. And even if this is not defined, it will choose the rate which we have saved without any class. So like this, you can create the visit type as per the panel, as per the class. So this is all about our how we can define the different kind of rates in AP. Hope you enjoyed the video. Do watch our other videos on official YouTube channel. Thank you.